Hey everyone, I am back from the dead one. Thanks you all for tuning in. Just waiting for the Destiny 2 showcase to come up, and I'll switch over to that. But yeah, it's been pretty nice. Got my wife to Guardian rank 6, so we don't have to worry about that resetting. How was that experience?
It was good. Fine.
Nothing much to say.
It was interesting. Overwhelming sometimes. But no, it was fun. I mean, especially when you had a bad day and you can just take your anger and frustration out on. Yeah. It's awesome. I see why you like playing so much.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, supposedly there was supposed to be a pre-show for... Hey, Divinity Bell, thanks for the follow. Hopefully you're having a great day. Hey, Vinny Zero, thank you for jumping in.
And then we're just gonna sit here awkwardly until the thing starts, huh?
Yeah? I guess that's a... Yeah, it's kind of...
Are you sure it's 10 our time?
Yes, I am positive it's 10 our time. It was supposed to start 8 a.m. PDT, which is 10 a.m. Central. So, not sure what Bungie is waiting for. If they're having some issues on their end. Yeah.
Some people are saying it says it starts at 12.
Hmm?
I'm trying to read.
There's no way they pushed that.
It's going too fast, so I can't read the comments.
The new season would start in a couple of hours.
Someone said look at Twitch all.
Mm-hmm.
Someone said when is pre-show, an hour more. But I don't know how long ago these comments were put in.
Yeah. Okay.
It starts at 11 CST according to their Twitter.
What are you calling the pre-show? Are you... Yeah, figure it. Everything I saw said they were going to do a pre-show at 10. Geez, people in the chat now. Yeah, you can kind of... I'll switch over to this screen and show you what we're looking at. There you go. So... Where's my... Should be that? Yeah. If you could see down in this area down here, it says 9:30 a.m. my time, which was half an hour ago. Yeah, you're welcome. Try to support everyone as much as I can. You know, I really enjoy when I can tune into your streams, Divinity. What's up?
I think this stream was meant to come out on the 22nd of August, 2024. Someone just trying to make a joke.
Yeah, there's plenty of people who crack jokes, especially if you look at any of the Bungie help feeds when they have server issues. Yeah. Some are funny, some are just downright ridiculous.
Some people are saying it's on Twitch, but it's...
Is YouTube having issues? And
Yeah, a lot of people are saying it's live on Twitch.
well, you can pop over there and
What am I going to search under? Just Destiny 2?
yeah, and then every every content creator watching this, where,
This one?
yeah.
I wonder how far into it is.
Wait till the ad plays through. Okay. Just gotta unmute this. Hit the home button on your controller. Okay.
Why does this sound weird? I don't know why mine sounds so funny.
I'm wondering why I'm not getting sound off of.
Yeah, see?
Let me see. Just try reloading it again.
Oh, shit. If I don't drop my phone first. There we go. Nope, now it's doing it again.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, this says Showcase 2022. Maybe they got the date wrong? That's kind of funny.
No, so they might have collapsed both chats. What I'm trying to figure out is why is the audio not coming through here?
See, it's fine for a few seconds, and then it makes that noise.
Yeah. What the heck is... Hey, Sourlow, just trying to figure out why I'm not...
A Guardian Rises. The Dark Beyond.
Huh. Yeah,
Chamber of the Night.
they're going over all the... Jeez. See if I can just reload their Twitch. heck?
Is your computer volume? Well, no, you probably won't want your computer volume up, right?
Yeah, I would. I'd also like. Yeah, because I'm even listening to the stream on my wife's phone, and yeah, that doesn't sound much better.
Mm-mm. I'm just gonna restart the app and see if that.
What camera did I use? I think it's a AverMedia PW315. It's the model number for it. It only costs about maybe 100. I think it's like $100 to $120.
Okay, YouTube's working now.
Okay, let's try.
Go back to YouTube.
Jeez. Reload their page and.
It doesn't sound so distorted.
Okay, it's a Bungie's YouTube or it's a Destiny's. Oh my gosh. That's funny.
What? Our live stream came up?
Yeah. Okay, that's. Oh, why?
Mine was just in my recent.
Okay, it should. How hard is it to find? Let me see this.
It's right there. Destiny 2 2023 live
No,
stream.
that's not. Okay.
That one down there that says under people also watched?
No, that's not what we're looking at. Okay, here we go. Because for some reason, Destiny's. Yeah. There we go.
You got sound coming through?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna take my headphones back from you.
Okay. Let's see if, yeah, there we go. Okay.
Jeez.
Well, I mean, I can mess with the settings, but yeah.
I still wear the scars. The awoken are my family now, and I am there for you.
So yeah, this is what you would have missed in Taken King if you did not play.
Shake. Do you actually do fights like this in the game?
That's actually a major criticism. That's actually a major criticism in Destiny 2 is that we don't have ship battles.
Didn't want to get too Star Warsy.
I honestly don't know. Yeah, this is my wife Bonnie. We've been playing through Destiny 2. We got her to the new light quest and up to Guardian rank 6 in 1750 just before the servers went down, and we were going through Shadowkeep, but now we're gonna jump into the new season. We've both got all the expansions now on Xbox for her and Steam for me, so we can play together and show it on stream.
I'm not much of a video gamer, honestly. I never have been, so I've played some Lego games and maybe some Super Mario games, but that's about as far as I've ever gotten.
So yeah, it's definitely interesting. For me, I've played over 6,500 hours of Destiny 2 trying to teach her how to play the game.
I'm empty.
Yeah. More coffee?
Yes. I need a refill. Do you need a refill?
Yeah.
Okay. Try not to break that.
There you go. Yeah, we have 3 kids, and we actually got them all playing video games with us. Most of the time what they play is, if they're not playing on the Wii U or the 3DS, my brother-in-law got them a Switch Lite. So we got them Tears of the Kingdom, Mario Party, what's that? Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, Mario Golf, Mario Soccer, a bunch of different games for that, and even a nice Zelda case for it all to sit in. But yeah, so the whole family in one way or another plays video games.
You were right. Guardian was the key. For the first time, the whispers are silent.
You move and I'm gonna whoop your tail. Butthead. Here.
Yeah, just trying to make sure the dog doesn't steal my wife's spot.
Really? Can't.
I have accepted my fate.
Why are you a butt? Hey, look at me.
Hmm.
Some piece from your headphones.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to replace my PC headphones.
Okay, you're not getting behind me, so just lay down. Jeez. Must be right on top of me.
Mm-hmm. And if she didn't play the Red War campaign, here is the opening cutscene to Destiny 2.
Impressing UK is the easiest thing on
I swear though, every time I hear his voice, I just think Richard Castle.
Someone or something has sabotaged the Skyline defense systems.
And comms have been spotty for the last few hours. Every sentry on the wall has gone out.
He also plays the one car in Cars 3 that is trying to make Lightning McQueen go into retirement.
Mm-hmm.
That's good, right?
No,
I recognized his voice right away.
there
Yeah.
are no satellites.
Battle stations. Everyone with me now.
So yeah, that was almost 6 years ago. It's kind of crazy to think.
It's as old as our youngest.
Yeah. Yep.
Trackpole popped in.
Hey, Dread, how you doing today? Yeah,
What's
thanks.
up?
But yeah, shout out to a few other people in chat. Yeah, Sour is on a podcast called Xbox International Podcast on YouTube. They cover gaming news with Crazy Louie, Big Plume, and Silent Cypher, so go check them out. They got Dreadful that does a lot of different content, from covering cosplayers at different gaming events, interviewing different personalities in the community, and playing live streams of video games.
Awesome. Our day pretty much just started, so
No, Dread works really late, and there you go. That's the first time we saw the pyramid ships, and barely knew what they were.
you know, I am kind of glad though that there's no space fighting like in Star Wars, because I suck when it comes to that. Like,
I do too, but I still want them to put it in.
it's like I'm just learning how to like shoot, like aim and shoot.
No, I really did want them to put dogfights in space. That would have been really cool.
Never felt better. You see that, Pedro? Pedro? Guard? Must have let them come
Yeah.
this
Yeah, this is the opening cutscene to Forsaken for Year 2 of Destiny, where everybody got pissed off.
back in your cages. I said, back in your cages.
Oh, yours is lagging behind mine because I'm watching the
No,
big
it's
screen.
just a little bit of delay, probably.
I'm
Yeah.
watching the big screen instead of on my phone, but listening through my phone.
Mm-hmm.
And what he's saying through my headphones isn't matching what he's saying on the screen.
Yeah.
That's what I need.
What's
I need
that?
an extra set of arms.
Well, if they ever make it a possibility to play Scorn or Fallen S class, you can get an extra set of arms.
Oh, I meant in real life.
Uh,
Spooky season.
mm-hmm.
I already got my pumpkin spice. Shiny.
Golden gun.
Is this when he dies?
Yep.
No.
Yeah, that's a.
Aww.
That's it.
Don't die, Nathan.
Now I'm pissed. Oh, is that real? Oh, you.
So basically, that shot came from a thorn bullet that killed his ghost. And as Guardian, when you lose your ghost, you lose your light. So you lose the ability to come back over and over again.
Coming home, Ace.
Hey, Ham Solo, thanks for jumping in. Hopefully you're having a great day. You also check out TSWS Gaming. Put out a lot of great content from gaming news to interviewing different people in the community.
Is it really bad that I feel like crying right now?
A lot, yeah. Yeah, this was a rough point in the story.
I'm just gonna kind of move away from the camera for a minute.
Well, this is awkward. Hey, you gotta go to the world.
No. But I do
Who
have.
is that?
Older and Sav?
Any second now, my partner is gonna roll in here and kill every last one.
You know what's funny? He said almost that exact same line in an episode of Castle. When he had gotten kidnapped.
Any last words?
How's your sister?
You would have appreciated that line a lot more if you understood his sister was dead at that point in the story. Or at least presumed dead.
Turn off the camera for a minute. I don't want to cry on camera.
Oh, Kate's coming back. We already know that from a
I
different
know,
show.
but still.
Yeah. But yeah, what they didn't show at the end there, at the end of Forsaken, you actually come back and people speculate it was Petra, but I still say in my head I killed Ladrin Sav. To make very interesting story for when Kate 6 comes back and Crow has been brought back instead of Aldrin as Guardian.
What did he say?
We have heard,
No, GCX, a different event.
and soon we will answer.
And this was creepy as hell the first time we saw it.
Don't you
Excuse me, blubbering over here.
We are your
Yeah.
salvation.
Okay. That same cutscene used to play out. The way it played out is that like creepy alternate personality character you see on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
That was the same as your character. So everybody saw a different cutscene where their character was on one side, like normal, and this like twisted
Right, it's just
psycho
like
version of themselves.
just like when you encounter the Forgotten in Dreamlight Valley. I mean, it looks
Yeah.
just like your character that you've created.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I don't like other people seeing me cry.
She barely likes me seeing her.
Makes me feel vulnerable and weak. I'm supposed to be strong.
Trying to remember what season this was. Or is I'm thinking the timeline. Was this season of the Seraph? I think.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Season of Rivals. Yeah, still got almost 20, a little bit less than 26 minutes ago, and then the actual showcase will start. But this, I really do appreciate this. They're going over the timeline and showing cutscenes. So people that either jumped in Destiny 2 or aren't completely caught up on the story can get a little refresher by watching all these. Interstellar was that.
I'm good.
Is that the one with Matthew McConaughey that you guys were talking about? I think that was it. Or I heard somebody talking about it on stream.
There are a couple movies that no matter how many times I watch them, I always get choked up at that one part.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one of the movies I was showing one of our kids, and I was just bawling, and they're like, "Mommy, are you okay?"
Yeah. Yeah, and here we go. This kickoff of Beyond Light.
I would not leave that there.
Wanna
Just
set it
back.
over on the end table.
Just set it behind the monitor.
Yeah.
I don't need you to move your leg. And
Oops. Gotta order a new cup. Yeah, at least this was only a couple years ago.
yeah. It's so pretty.
Mm-hmm. You see
Ah!
this?
I almost dropped my coffee cup.
You actually see that fish, like that flying fish, later on in Lightfall. It's from Neptune.
Okay.
Season the Hunt, you got a little bit more personal with Ziva Roth, who's the last hive god still living. Then yeah, ironically, Season of the Lost, yeah, we went to free Savathun and Reborn just so that fed into the story in Witch Queen. Yep.
I saw the end before it happened. My own death, brought on by the separation from my power. And in these final moments, I looked to the sky. Hello, old friend. I've chased you for a long time. First as an enemy, then as a collector, and finally, now, a supplicant. What is it the Guardians say? Devotion inspires bravery. Bravery inspires sacrifice. And sacrifice... Here we are. Wouldn't it be clever of you if after everything, you simply let me die? What a trick. Elegant. Is that it?
It's like, so why does she seem so over dramatic? It's like, I'm
Okay.
dying. Something
So-
one of our kids would do when they get hurt or something.
So that is Savathun the Witch Queen, and she is the god of lies and deception. So if she's being a little bit over dramatic, that's playing into her
Makes
hand.
sense.
Which, yeah, we didn't see this one coming, that the Traveler would give the Hive the light.
Ew.
No, I still definitely stand behind it. The Witch Queen was... Yeah, I definitely say Witch Queen was the best expansion in Destiny 2.
You know the captions are not.
Yeah, I know, they're not accurate.
It's like,
I wish they were, but yeah, no.
But why would she need us to recover her memories if she never lost them in the first place?
This has to be a trick. A lie to force into surrendering the traveler without fate.
littleness.
This has been the Traveler's approach from the beginning. The books of Saga detail many civilizations it blessed with the light, then abandoned.
High propaganda.
The Fallen tell the same story. When the witness and its black fleet came
What?
I'm just laughing at the fact that the words aren't matching their words.
Yeah.
To save humanity from the same poisons.
It makes it that much funnier.
It doesn't matter. I don't know why the Traveler gave Savathun the light. Maybe it has changed its mind about Guardians. Maybe
get into it.
But I know
No, that was a crazy moment that we were trying to figure out in the lore. How do you, after all that time of warring with the Hive, the Traveler's been warring with the Hive for millions of years, how do you transfer the light to your worst enemy?
Isn't this interesting? I miscalculated. So did you, Guardian. So protective of your traveler that you wouldn't let me keep it safe. But the witness is coming. The game is yours to play now. Yours to win or lose. Just don't say I didn't warn you.
See, she didn't seem so dramatic there.
You kind of wonder, and I am curious if the Traveler did this on purpose to hide Amaru, because Amaru is Savathun's ghost. If you don't kill her ghost in the same way that you saw Cade 6's ghost die, Savathun can be brought back, which is what we're supposedly doing in this upcoming season.
Is it done? Is Salvador?
She's dead. But her ghost got away.
Good enough. Hold your position. The Hidden are coming to secure the remains. Good work, Guardian. You did the right thing.
now what?
Yeah, if you're wondering who the Hidden are, those are basically a secret order of warlocks that are kind of like the CIA in Destiny.
Like Men in Black.
Yeah, yeah, they're the people you don't want to know what they do.
Look at my little pointer thing. Zap. Hey, your hair's on fire.
Yeah, but that's a whole civilization that's hair's on fire.
Is that hate? Are they Hades children?
No, this is... Okay, so we learned this season that the Witness is actually an entire race of people that figured out how to combine all their consciousness into one being. And since the beginning of time, this is who the Traveler has been warring against.
Bug eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, see, you don't have to sit so far away from me.
Yeah, I also want a camera.
You can sit closer.
Yeah, now that you remember the guy who killed Cade? Well, we killed him, and then the Traveler brought him back, and that's Crow.
Dumbass. I guess they gotta find some way to keep the story going, right?
Yeah, I don't know. And this would have been the moment before Lightfall when the Traveler goes to space to defend humanity against the Witness. Finally get to see that showdown.
It's happening again.
Don't worry. The great machine will never abandon anyone again.
So basically, to stop Aramis from using the war sats to try and destroy the Traveler, Anna shut down Rasputin, which destroyed all of his satellites.
Haha, you lose.
Well, see, they were still worried that the Traveler would leave. Yeah. And yep.
Holy crap.
Vanguard to all units. Keep the enemy away from the Traveler. At all cost.
Yeah, and then we have the scene that is 8 years in the making. Oh.
Pew, pew, pew. This is when you play.
Lightfall.
No, I would say that would be the Darth Vader tone.
It's somewhat similar.
Maybe that's why they didn't add the shooting in space. They were already too similar to Star Wars, and they didn't want to be like.
It's a much different. It's a much different style of gameplay.
I know.
So it'd be also them trying to develop that.
Yeah. Surprise!
Mm-hmm.
Look at all this hair coming out of your dog.
Yeah.
Ugh, my hands are all sweaty. Yeah, I remember watching this.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, we had to go through your Guardian ranks. We had to play the first mission, which is the intro to that.
Yeah. She basically dismembered the ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
Knock knock. Oh man.
We're in no position to engage the enemy.
I don't want to play Bloody Knuckles.
And we have a little bit more understanding what the veil is, but
Don't die. 6 minutes.
yeah.
No more running away. Rest now. The uglier they
Cowabunga, dude.
Nimbus is funny. I don't know. I appreciate cheesy humor, but hey, that's just me.
What's wrong, Osiris?
Finality takes shape.
It's creating the link. Destroy it.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have done it either.
Well, no, because if he destroys it, wouldn't he kill himself, pretty much? Since it was his ghost?
He would have killed it. Basically, your guardian would have killed the source of the light. That they would be able, you will lose all your powers. So
What just happened?
you basically in that cutscene, you fail to sacrifice your powers for the greater good.
Zavala. Come in.
Would have been a very interesting choice if they would have let you make that for yourself.
Yeah. So this is the new season, right? It's like the trailer for the new season?
This is the trailer for the end of Lightfall.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
haven't gotten that far, so...
No. No, once the witness was able to make the link between the Veil and the Traveler, basically we think he killed the Traveler. It's still confusing at this point what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Damn it.
So yeah, at this point in the story, there's a lot of speculation of exactly where that portal goes, how we get into it, which we'll figure that out in final shape in probably about 6 months.
So this is the new season?
So they're going to kind of recap a little bit what happened in Lightfall here
Okay.
and what they're trying to do now. This is Season of the Deep, the season that just ended today. And in the showcase, in less than 3 minutes, they'll be talking about the new season and what's going to happen in final shape. So yeah, they basically recapped in this showcase. They basically recapped Destiny from all the way in the beginning to right now.
Aww.
You know,
I've seen terrible things born out in the darkness. Every moment brings them closer.
Oh my gosh, where are we?
Music. Ready? Dad, are you ready? Oh, your dudes.
All ends and beginnings.
Battle stations. Alright, game over. Credits. Hey, God. Holy crap.
About time we go to the moon.
Was that a darkest ship behind Okora?
So happy Eris is back.
We are yours.
Sound
salvation.
Wait. The line between light and dark is so very thin. Let's cross it together.
Holy crap. This got me feeling things.
Hello, old friend.
俺はマジで鳥肌立ちました。Oh my god, dude. Alright, put the popcorn down, y'all.
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
Hey, those are a lot of really crazy moments in the game that they're showing, and here we go.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off. No?
Thanks for tuning in, y'all. Like many of you, I've been playing games as long as I can remember. They're a core part of what makes me who I am. I believe there's this deeply rooted, often unstated mission of games to keep adventure alive. In 2014, Bungie set out to start a new adventure. Heroes awakened on a desolate planet. A silent god set in our sky.
Yeah, let me know if the stream's loud enough.
Shrouded in darkness, showed up at humanity's door to destroy us. Over the years,
Who is that?
heroes
Lovely
have shaped a
Lucy.
story
Yeah, we got Lovely Lucy in chat and Lost Boomer.
players would
Hey y'all, what's up?
into the depths of Venus, hunting a machine god
Just a
that
little
controlled
bit.
time itself. They'd invent ways to combine their mythic weaponry and their
And
causal abilities
Mr.
to stand
Right?
alone against monsters that took others.
Yeah,
on a
Mr.
tear
Y49.
They'd
Thanks
race
everybody for
alongside
jumping
their
in.
friends far into the early morning, into halls of an ancient city, where only a select few emerged victorious at dawn, clutching the heart of a dragon. But most importantly, they'd bring their friends and their family into this world, and together meet new faces on this adventure who would become lifelong companions. Now, together, we approach the final shape. We're about to embark on the last expedition of Destiny's first saga. So let's be clear about the stakes. In the final shape, you will go inside the Traveler. The journey will be difficult. And what awaits you on the other side of this trek is nothing less than the deadliest entity we have ever faced. There will be no open betas. There aren't going to be any guides on the internet telling you how to handle what's to come. Whether you've been with us from the beginning, joined us somewhere along the road, or looking at Destiny for the first time, anybody who shows up on launch day is going to be greeted with this same uncharted world. A vacuum-sealed experience begging for you to be the first person to peel it open. So today is your invitation to go forth and adventure.
After all these years, we never talked about it.
Bruno?
Why I brought you back.
I'm sorry. It's just an awkward silence, so.
No.
Why you were chosen. The truth is, I didn't know that. It was just
Yeah, we still gotta get you that rocket launcher.
Kaboom!
but I know now. After all we boss. This fight might be our last. So I'm asking you one last time to rise.
Trying to figure out if those were tormentors that got stranded stasis now. That'd be sick.
So is this the last season of Destiny 2?
No, that's the next expansion. This is the last expansion in the Light and Dark saga. And then we're not sure what's coming next. That's...
We've been building to this moment for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
The final shape is the conclusion to that journey. This is a moment in gaming that, as a developer, you just don't get very often.
Guardians and allies are fighting the biggest threat that the universe has ever seen in this big culmination of the Light and Darkness saga.
When we were thinking of what the final shape could be, it had to be a lot of different things. It needs to pay off this epic confrontation with the Witness that we've been setting up for years. It has to bring you closer to your allies in the Vanguard. It has to be this place that, like, makes you feel nostalgic for the entire journey you've been on.
When we were resurrected by Ghost at the very beginning of this story, we didn't know why, but it was for this. The Traveler is asking us for help, and it's our responsibility to protect every living thing in the universe from what the Witness intends to do.
When we first start the final shape, we are finally able to go through the portal that the Witness opened in the Traveler at the end of Lightfall.
Inside is the Pale Heart of the Traveler. That is the stage for our showdown with the Witness.
The Witness has the darkness and has always had a connection to it. The Pale Heart of the Traveler is what it's trying to use to gain connection to the light. So with both, it can enact its final shape.
The Witness looks around and sees a lack of purpose, no meaning. It wants to fix all that. So it's trying to put the universe into this frozen perfection where everything's just exactly how it thinks it's supposed to be. That is the final shape.
If we're going to defeat the Witness, it's going to take everything. Failure is not an option.
We're gonna need the Vanguard, all of our allies, and all the Guardians to rally together and be brave in the face of Oblivion.
In the final shape, we're going to answer questions at the grandest scale. But what I find really interesting is that it's also a very personal journey, where we deepen our relationships with these characters that we've known for so long. Zavala, Ikora, our Ghost, get to reconnect with Cade 6. So, like, while there's this great conflict and everything going on around us and stakes of just unimaginable heights,
So we might actually get the Avengers Endgame moment a lot of people were hoping for.
companions who have been fighting together for
Avengers
hundreds of
unite.
years.
Except it'd be Guardians Unite, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the final shape, we're going through the portal that the Witness has opened up to confront it and stop the final shape. Inside the Traveler is this infinite, vast, unknowable, and we're landing on the Pale Heart, which is a fraction of really what is inside the Traveler.
The Pale Heart is weird. It's a little strange, it makes me feel a bit uncomfortable, and it is also just so cool and artistic in the best way.
The Witness entered well ahead of any Guardians, and so it's had time to kind of shape what's there. When our Guardian enters, the rest of the Pale Heart starts getting shaped also around what we've experienced.
This is the Traveler recreating the world in front of you as it saw on your journey.
One of the most memorable locales from Destiny's past is the D1 Tower. It's really a labor of love from the Destiny team. The final shape means so much to everyone who's building it, and I think players are really going to be able to see that.
The Pale Heart is our very first linear destination that we've ever done. I would love it if players felt that they began their journey in a place of safety and feel it escalate in danger, in
Not
surrealness,
so pretty.
because there is this beautiful evolution of the space.
They see things that are more and more wrong as they begin to go towards the Witness's monolith. It's kind of this omnipresent, foreboding thing off in the distance.
The weirdest things happen as you get closer to the monolith in the form of reshaping. Kind of like deconstructing things and putting them back together. Just
Well, I wonder if that's going to be the end of the campaign, or if that's where the raid's going to be at that rate.
As you're exploring these spaces and you're jumping on these reshaped cuboids of Earth, you feel tiny as a Guardian. You feel alone. You feel like you are not the force to be reckoned with that you have been. You're not the God Slayer right now. You're just this little person jumping from these massive pieces to massive pieces.
One of the things that we really tried to also capture is that the Witness keeps throwing everything it has at you. And so you're going to fight these new enemies, the Subjugators.
Okay, this is what I was curious what they were.
Facing in the final shape. They have an enhanced power set. They're performing stasis powers and strand powers to face the Guardian, in support of all the other enemies you're fighting too.
They bring
Power
something
Rangers
entirely
2.0.
new to the battlefield, which is kind of this element of control.
They're back there pinging away with stasis abilities, throwing crystals at you, freezing you in place, tangling you up.
We're focusing you on the campaign and only the campaign.
Okay, so we got some like Tormentors 2.0 that actually get powers like the Hive Guardians. It's kind of cool. It'll be interesting to see how they play out in fight.
And so we're going to make sure that the core Vanguard team gets back together. Zavala and Ikora and Kate.
The campaign is just the start of the Pale Heart. After you've reached the monolith and finished the campaign, we open up the entire destination, and so the entire Pale Heart is going to react to you and what you are doing.
So procedurally generated or just randomized?
Ends with the final mission. The raids are where you defeat like the big bosses. So it's only natural that when you are going to confront the Witness, you're going to do that in the raid.
Okay.
That might not be enough. This is a moment where we need to rally all Guardians to be able to overcome the final shape and the Witness.
What's with the
Okay,
cars?
so the Witness is the raid boss. They got that one confirmed.
What's with the cars?
In the final shape, we are inside the Traveler, very close to this energy. This allows us to have new supers, Arc, Solar, Void.
We want to create something that turns you into an offensive powerhouse, but also can benefit your allies in a support capacity. There is this thread of team play and like working with your friends to overcome the odds. The Warlock Super is this ultimate expression of solar energy coursing through your Guardian. This Solar Warlock Super is a callback to Radiance from D1.
Other than Golden Gun, this is the only other first-person super in Destiny right now. Your melee's like all these projectiles going off, doubling the amount of projectiles. Your grenade almost being sentient as it searches around, and then it hits a character and bounces off and goes to another one. And you're so overflowing with this energy that you are also giving it to your allies, allowing them to have their solar weapons supercharged, applying
That's
shooting.
The new Solar Warlock.
It's a really cool support role.
Rift, it is going to create this little solar soul that when it sees an enemy, it launches part of itself out and hits the enemy and explodes and
Kaboom!
It just feels very alive.
So yeah, that's the class you play as right now.
Ooh, I get to go kaboom?
It's
Yeah.
a layered super.
This is the only ranged one-off offensive super for Titans in the game. The Titan jumps up into the air, summons this
Time to
giant
switch
void
gears.
axe, throws it, summons another one, throws it, summons another one, looks at a different group of enemies, throws it. And when these axes fly through the air, they stick into the ground or an enemy, do their void gravity thing where they suck a bunch of energy and enemies in and then explode. But that doesn't destroy the axe. The axe sticks around, and you and your allies can go and pick up that axe and start wailing on enemies with it.
This super is insane to me.
The Void Titan aspect, I press and
Okay, and just want to know, can I chuck it at a raid boss and would actually be able to do boss DPS damage?
up, and then I can release that, and it creates this blast that deals massive damage.
I guess you just have to find out.
Yeah, I have to wait and see, especially if they
The hunter kind of rears back.
bring out an exotic that lets you throw just one axe at a boss target.
To its position, do the slash that just decimates anyone nearby.
Kind of like the Titan. The hunters have Celestial Nighthawk for golden gun, where if the Titan's got something like that for that axe super.
We take our staff, we twirl it in the air, which propels us upward. It creates this burst, which amplifies you and any allies near you.
It almost makes it feel like you're playing a fighting game, right? Like these combos that you're
Yeah,
chaining
think?
together to do these different moves. It like takes that sandbox to the next level.
The more
thought it was
aspects we
a
have, the
fighting
more
game.
capable we are to do that.
It feels like you're like riding the lightning, you know? Like that instantaneous, like...
That was good, but I think it's more like...
Cue sound effects.
Weapons team has been working on all sorts of goodness. We've got exotics, we've got legendaries, we've got perks. We're always cooking up stuff. We're always playing with stuff that we think is like really interesting or taking inspiration. We have Tessellation, which is this exotic pyramid fusion rifle. It has the really intriguing property of adapting your Guardian's current damage type.
This will be the first time that you can run a weapon that can adapt to be strand or stasis in the energy slot. So you'll be able to run an entirely strand or entirely stasis loadout. Tessellation has the additional property that you can special reload to reshape your grenade and suck it into the weapon, and then fire out a super destructive single projectile. It's a really special weapon.
What's the one specific exotic that I can make that's like really zany that you would like right now?
What if Golden Gun was a sniper rifle?
What if you could harness the might of the Traveler? You know, we had a moment where we saw that Traveler Beam cutscene. I know people on Weapons went, I kind of want that. You're like, that is incredibly dope.
So we've got this opportunity to bring back these iconic Destiny 1 weapons, but really turn it into something that feels unique in Destiny 2.
We have to bring Kvastab into the fold.
The Red Death exotic pulse rifle.
And Dragon's Breath. Burn the world, burn it all.
Okay, so they're bringing a few of them back. I didn't have that in Destiny 1, so it'll be interesting to see how it plays and how people think it transfers over.
We've got a rocket pistol sidearm subfamily. We always liked the special ammo sidearms. This fires tiny, slow-moving rockets. They hit very hard, do a bit of AoE damage. They have a mixture of regular weapon and rocket launcher stats. We're also doing a new support weapon subfamily.
The support frame auto rifle is a type of legendary auto rifle. It'll let you switch seamlessly from firing at enemies to healing your allies. I'm really excited
There
to
you go, that's
bring it
something
to
for you.
dungeons and keep my team alive, honestly.
I love how they did the running in slow motion, like.
Yeah.
We've got a ton of new cool stuff coming over the next few
Makes
years.
it more
and
dramatic.
some new and really wild ideas, which we're pretty excited about.
Come on, take a load off. You've got a lot to cover. This place is only big enough for one dashing hero type, and that's me, so.
Yay!
See, you didn't have to wait year after year after year thinking he was dead just to see him come back. You only had to wait like 30 minutes.
Get your rock off my map. Worst case scenario, you die. But who knows? Maybe you won't. Well, better get
Yeah, that was a trailer when the game first came out, but yeah.
In this moment where
I love that he's just as pompous in this game as he is in like all of his other characters. Like it's amazing. Like his personality does not change no matter what he's doing.
His presence casts such a long shadow over the
So I
story
think
of
that's what
Destiny,
makes it
whether
so
was
amazing.
when he was alive or when he was dead.
What Cade goes through in this journey, how he serves as a catalyst for the other characters, the events that are uncovered to have brought him back. This is how the story had to end. There was no end to the Light and Darkness saga that didn't have Cade here alongside his friends to finish the job.
Once we started digging into the nature of the Pale Heart, I think that crystallized Cade's role as a guide. Cade is Virgil, and he's our guide through this other place. Cade is the one who is the most appropriate person to be the guide, because that's his job. That's always been his job. It just feels so natural for Nathan to be back in the booth. It felt amazing to just see him slip back into the role, like, without missing a beat.
Right, instantly.
In the flesh. Or metal. Doesn't work.
Cade's the glue that's always held Zavala and Ikora together. Having him back puts them in a position of questioning where they've been and what they've done without him.
You think about the journey that Zavala's been on and how he's been taken down this dark path, and you think about the weight that's been on Ikora, having to hold the Vanguard together, having Cade's voice of levity and brightness that he brings to that group, that I think is going to be great for them.
Well, at least we have each other.
We want people to take away that sense of reunion and that idea of like the gang being back together for this moment.
I'm here now. Wherever the hell here is.
Well, apparently inside the Traveler from what we heard before in the stream.
Guardian, the witness poses a dire threat. And the Witch Queen holds the answers we seek. But only if we contend with her sister, Zivu Araf.
Yeah.
It rests with me. Will you come back from this? Do not be afraid.
Bring me your tithes.
You now wield Hive magic and have entwined it with your light. Assault the Spire, Guardian.
Yeah, this will be the new season that we're jumping into. What in the world?
Let them know fear.
We get a Firefly weapon finally?
The deck of whispers, and they do whisper. Fight in my name, Guardian. Every opponent you defeat strengthens me.
Definitely some interesting armor.
My appetite rises for your brutal tribute.
Got a new hand cannon there, maybe?
Let us show her what it is to be Hive.
You have sounded the horn of battle. You are deserving of the greatest death I can bestow.
Okay, Season of the Witch. That's what we're going into today.
Season of the Witch is our opportunity as players. We've been
Awesome.
annihilating and breaking Hive spells, and now we finally get to cast them.
At the end of Season of the Deep, we learn that Savathun has the
That's
key
a
to get
dangerous
into the
line to
portal
cross,
that
but
we
hey.
need to go into. That means we have to go find Imaru, her ghost. Imaru's like, not so fast. We've got a bigger problem first, and that bigger problem's name is Zivu Araf. If we fight her, she only gets stronger. Eris has an idea. It's a really
good.
It's a wild ass idea.
Just a terrible idea.
She determines, like, well, the best way to fight fire is with fire.
We are channeling all of that energy that we're creating by going through, by eliminating enemies, and we're tithing to our friend Eris.
Bring me your tithes.
What does that mean for the characters and the player to kind of like be like Savathun? And that's where we went down the path of having Hive Eris. We want to extend that magical fantasy into the player then. That ability to have overwhelming magical power, that risk and reward into all of our activities and systems experiences. And
This is a horrible, horrible idea, because if you heard some of the lore that Eris in the dark future is supposed to become the worst enemy after everything, Savathun's not it, it's actually Eris, so this is like lore coming true, and that's not where you want to go.
Place on the battlefield and change the way you play.
I'm such a sucker for deck building. Like being able to like bring that element into Destiny gameplay has just been like, oh, just
it's
really
super
fun.
So we've got 2 brand new seasonal activities coming with Season of the Witch. We've got Altars of Summoning and Savathun's Spire.
Savathun's Spire is our new 3-player offensive. You're doing a lot more with Lucent Hive magic, but it's got a high amount of combatant density.
Okay.
It's got additional random encounters that you can come across.
The Witch's Spire itself, Savathun's Spire, was like her reliquary for all these different magical experiments as she was learning the light. You're there in order to learn as much as you can in order to become a master spellcaster, right? To become like Savathun. The Altar of Summonings activity is really exciting because you can spend like 20 minutes in it or you can spend 2 hours in it.
It's a 3-player experience that you can hop in and hop out of. As you're going through this activity, you're filling the tithing bucket. As that tithing bucket is filled up, you'll get progressively more rewards. And then finally at the end, it'll cash out and you'll get a whole mess of rewards.
We really wanted to make sure that there was a home for any exotic mission content coming in seasons after the year has passed. And so we developed what we're calling the Exotic Mission Rotator.
Right away, we're getting Presage, Vox Obscura, and Operation Seraph Shield.
This is some of the most fun content the team has making. It's some of the content the fans and players of Destiny love the most. The most exciting thing, outside of just the missions themselves, is that every time we put a mission inside of that rotator, the exotic that comes alongside of it will become craftable.
Yep. And that's where you're going to craft your Dead Man's Tail and all the exotics you missed from last year, and craftable weapons from the previous year if you missed anything.
We wanted to make sure that we focused the combat a little bit more. With the new Vex network map, we really wanted to make sure we hit is like, hey, you're shoulder to shoulder more often. There's not as much deep sight lines that you're interacting with. And a lot of the flow of the map is actually built around this like kind of central pillar of the Vex network that you're orienting around.
And there's also some modes coming too, right?
We've got a new PvP game mode coming that's all about relics. It's about multiple relics, so it's not just one like the Scorch game mode from the past. So we've got the shield coming from Vault of Glass, we've got the spear back from Season of the Risen.
And we got the scythe from Season of the Haunted.
Yeah, so you're gonna be reaping Guardians with that thing. It's a lot more tactical gameplay. It's all about...
I'm actually excited about this mode because I don't care for...
push for victory.
Like, you know, more... I kind of care... I kind of like the more party modes. They're a little bit cheesier, and you don't take too seriously. Whenever you go into Crucible, like Mayhem and Scorch, so...
There's something in the air. And so when thinking about, like, what's a good raid reprisal that would really suit this very high-B season, there's only one answer.
I have seen what the Hive call a god.
I wonder how people are going to react, because I'm excited about this. I know a lot of people, yeah, you knew this was happening. You knew it was going. Oh, Crota Zen coming back. Wow. I was kind of hoping for Wrath, but, no. It's Crota's End. I'm curious how they're going to change this up, because it was not that long of a raid before. Okay, September... Oh my gosh! I'm already sold.
Heading into the
I'm sold on that ring.
To rally all guardians at the end of the Light and Darkness saga. We want to reduce those power barriers as well as catch people up on key story beats and make sure that they have a really great and easy time connecting with other players. In the final shape, we're trying to find ways to make power more simple and easy to understand, and also lowering the barrier to entry.
It's going to make it easier for players who have not been able to jump into game easily because they were held back by the challenges in grinding for the power levels that are required by these different activities.
One of the major changes that's going to be happening starting with the final shape is there are going to be a certain number of activities that are going to be power fixed. So it doesn't matter kind of what power level you are going into it, you're always going to be able to approach it. There's still going to be tiers of difficulty that you can do, things that are just meant to be experienced a certain way.
Things like Nightfall strikes that will still have power enabled, and that's where we're really going to focus the whole power climb.
The raids, the contest modes that everybody loves to engage with, that experience is fundamentally going to be staying the same.
I'm excited for this because I think there will be a lot more clarity for players in terms of understanding the relative difficulty of things, where they sit now in the spectrum.
One way that we're trying to do that is making it easier for new players to engage with you. So we're introducing something that we're calling Fire Team Power.
You can actually bring your friends along to play any dungeons and raids in the game without having to wait them to be at a certain power level. The person with the highest power in your fire team is actually going to bring all the others close to their power level, which means that there's no barriers really for the Guardian to join you in this high level content.
When it's combined with Fire Team Finder, it also
Oh my gosh,
strangers, people you've never played with before.
that can actually be really awesome.
The power level of you and the rest of the people in.
Because I've got a lot of friends, it's hard for them to jump in. They're like, oh, I gotta grind to get to your level.
Connect and find other people to complete the best and most aspirational content in Destiny. We have a tag system that allows players to be able to say, well, this is my playstyle. I'm really chill. I'm anti-sweat. I'm just really here to have a good time. Exactly.
Tags really allows players to show a little bit more personality, show a little bit more about what they're about. I think what's really great about it is with this launch, we're also looking at including inclusion tags.
As an example, one of the inclusion tags that we have are for colorblind players. Hopefully the inclusion tags will bring players closer to finding their community and even closer to the people that they're playing with. So once a listing goes live, players will be put into a listing lobby where players can gather, they can communicate with each other. So we wanted to make it as convenient and as easy as possible for players to not just sit and stare at a screen for a long time while their listing actually fills up.
As a gamer who's typically more solo, I'm especially excited about this because it really is about helping reduce that anxiety and burden that comes with trying to make a new connection.
Yeah, I really hope that helps people out. That's really cool. They're trying to connect,
The feature coming out
you know,
today
people
that I'm
that
incredibly excited about is time
probably have had barriers trying to, you know, getting connected with people that aren't as understanding as their issues, but finding people like themselves. I think that's great.
to have a mission for Forsaken, mission for Beyond Light, as well as a mission for Witch Queen.
Thanks for the memories, Guardian.
The neat thing about these missions is they're not going to be like one-to-one for how you would experience them in the campaign. You're also going to get additional pieces of narrative fed to you to like identify like, hey, this is why it's important that this happened, and here are the people you met along the way.
A really big one that's really timely for Final Shape is Cade's last stand from Forsaken. This is a moment that a lot of players, new and old, are going to come back to Destiny. I think this is just the right time to introduce features that are going to allow those players to jump right in and find people to play with and enjoy this content regardless of their power level.
Okay, are you just gonna bring back Forsaken? I mean, what? Yeah.
We're reaching the end of this 10-year journey.
That's.
What comes next?
The episodes. And the new way we're going to tell stories moving forward.
What's really important about episodes is that it's a really big shakeup to what we've been doing. Instead of providing 4 seasons a year, you are going to get 3 larger episodes. And so the first 3 episodes in this coming year are called Echoes, Revenant, and Heresy. It's coming right after the final shape.
And the theme for the year is going to be all about the consequences and aftermath of the final shape. I think what's really the cornerstone of the episode model that we're building is the 3-act structure. The acts act as these anchors for us to introduce new weapons, new artifact mods, new activities. There's going to be new missions coming around the core. There'll be new story moments in every single one of these acts. We're actually providing more cinematic styled experiences throughout the final shape year and the episodes with it than any of the seasons we've ever developed before.
These new stories are actually playable as standalone. Like each episode is something you can experience whether you've been playing Destiny for 10 years or this is your first one.
You're going to be able to basically enjoy them in any order you want to.
I think the opportunity with this big epic moment is that we get to innovate the game. We get to move the game forward.
It's all about change frequently. It's all about deeper story moments. It's all about more weapons, more loot, more often. And it really provides the team with a platform to go much deeper into the themes and fantasies and story of any individual episode as compared to the seasons you know of today.
I'm so excited to see what the narrative team can do with this kind of new platform of storytelling. Episodes provides this awesome foundation for the future of Destiny.
We're moving into the next stage of Destiny 2. I think some people look at the final shape and they think Destiny 2 is coming to the end. And in many ways, it's the opposite. We're leaning in. We're putting the pedal to the metal. Episodes provide us a new, innovative way for players to engage with Destiny 2 throughout the year.
Okay, I'm gonna have to, I guess, hear more on that and get some clarity? I don't know.
Devotion, bravery, sacrifice.
We know that we were chosen for a reason. By something greater than ourselves.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to think about the episodic format that they're talking about.
Shaped by the fires of each new battle. We are forged and sharpened into what we must become for the fight ahead. We are the final line that halts the second collapse.
All of us. Every Titan. Every Warlock. Every Hunter.
What is it the Guardians say? Devotion inspires bravery.
Bravery inspires sacrifice.
Sacrifice leads to death.
The line between light and dark is so very thin.
Let's cross it together.
There are things out in the dark that only the dark can overcome. Trust me.
You've heard the stories of the Traveler's sacrifice, of darkness descending upon humanity.
This time, there is no escape.
No, I think that is really awesome. I think the thing I'm most excited about
We get to
is
make
just
good on a
power
promise that
level.
we made way back in 2014. There was classic rock blasting, fire team racing across our solar system, and at the end, a simple message.
Yeah.
Become legend. Today, you got a glimpse at how we'll be cementing your legend in this upcoming year. We're going to be heading inside the Traveler, experiencing a destination unlike anything we've ever built before. We'll face the biggest bad we've ever made, and we'll do this all alongside a streamlined progression system, allowing us to easily play with friends in any content in the game. And as the dust settles in the final shape, we're going to continue our legends in Echoes. It's Destiny's first episode in a new phase of storytelling for Guardians with brand new conflicts born from the resolution of the Light and Darkness saga. These first episodes are just the beginning. But if you're chomping at the bit to see how the Light and Darkness saga is going to kick off the future of Destiny 2, we've got a ton of great content for you to jump into today. Going live after this, we've got Season of the Witch, with a new story, new weapons, new armor, new activities, and new PvP content, all alongside a series of story catch-up missions, allowing any of your friends to jump into the game and get up to speed on what's happening in this world. Then, next week, a brutal reprisal of Crota's End is going to join the ranks of our aspirational content. I can't wait to see you all in the Throne World as we learn more about the final shape and how we can stop it.
I actually did see something really cool in the stream though that you missed. So I think it's, I don't know if you caught that, what they were saying at one point there. Basically
about the matching your
matching your fire team's power level to the highest person.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, my wife's only at 1750 right now. So for higher power content, if I'm playing a lot more than she is, we can still jump in together. Collector's edition. See how.
When we create a collector's edition, we try and recreate items from the universe for players to enjoy outside of the game. So this year we're doing a Destiny 1 tower. We really try to work hard at thinking about 10 years of Destiny and how best to encapsulate that experience.
Even as a game dev who've worked on it since day one, like I think having it be the tower is super exciting for us because it's going to kind of catalog your journey of a player from when you first started playing Destiny all the way to now. The tower, it's kind of like the beacon in which you're a place you can call home.
You get the tower, and then there are actual figures of the Vanguard mentors that accompany that architectural model.
And there's a lot of like hidden messages and hidden things.
There's gonna be some fun surprises. We're always trying to push the envelope. And so we've been playing a lot with magnetic locks and sound effects, lights, just sort of make this experience as a whole really special. It's sort of the perfect symbol of Destiny. I'm so excited for it.
Me too.
Okay, so we got a date now. February 27th next year. We'll get to jump into the final shape. I'll have to check out how much is that collector's edition, because that can't be cheap. Let's see if I can... Okay, the post show. So I can only imagine that going about 20 minutes. And then we'll be jumping into the new season. See if I can find a... Yeah, I want to see if I can find a price on that one. Let's see. There we go, the store. The camera a little bit more for you. You're so far away. Yeah. Yeah, everybody's trying to get into the store to see the collector's edition. Of course they are. So yeah, what did you think about the showcase?
I think it was very informational. I don't know if I like misunderstood it, but are they bringing back certain bosses?
So Crota's End was a raid from Destiny 1 that's returning this season on September 1st.
Okay.
So
there was a couple other ones that they said there was going to be like a certain level from what was that?
There was a certain level from Forsaken, I'm not sure when that's coming back, where you are going to be able to play the mission where Cade dies.
I don't think I want to do that.
But yeah, Final Stand was the opening mission to Forsaken. That sounds like that mission is returning, and I wish they would just unball the first 2 years of Destiny, quite honestly, instead of just bringing back pieces of it, because if people want to experience the full story, they basically have to watch cutscenes on YouTube instead of playing the game. But yeah, again, I thought it was fantastic that eventually they're going to introduce the what is that? Yeah, the whole power system where the highest power member of the fire team is going to be able to pull people into endgame content. I think that's one of the biggest changes that they talked about in here, where now if my friends jump back into Destiny, they don't have to worry, well, do I have to grind 30 hours to get to where you're at? Now, hey, I've been playing long enough. If you want to jump back in with me, we can play together.
Now, is that only temporary, or like...
No, that looks like it's a feature they're just bringing to the game. I'm not sure if that... I'll have to double check to see if that's coming now or if that's coming...
Because I
next
would
year in
assume,
February.
I would assume that it would just be a temporary thing. Hey, we're gonna level you up temporarily so that you can
yeah, temporarily while
do
you're in the
something
same
with
fire
this
team.
person, but then once you leave that fire team, you go back to your normal.
Exactly.
Okay.
Content creator. I'm excited
So
to
that's
be
what they're
here
gonna be
live
doing,
at
though,
Bungie.
right?
We're gonna have two segments for you
Yeah,
today.
I would assume that's how it's
I'll
gonna
be
work.
playing through the brand new Season of the Witch content with my good friend Pika Peach. Right now, let's sit down with Bungie developers to talk more about what we just saw and what's next for the future of Destiny 2. Pika, over to you.
Thank you so much, Taylor. My name is Pika, and I'm also a content creator and Destiny 2 fan. You can often find Taylor and I playing together in some sort of challenge in-game. I'm beyond honored to be sitting down with everyone here today, so let's do some more introductions.
Thank you, Pika. It's great to have you here. Hi, my name is Cosmo. I'm the lead community role here at Bungie, and my role is supporting our amazing community team and all the great work they do, helping prepare weekly check-ins and sending info out to our players. I'm going to be teaming up with Pika today, and we're going to be asking some of these guys some questions and go over some of the things that we didn't get to cover in the showcase. So, yeah, Dan.
Yeah, thanks. I'm Dan McAuliffe. I'm the general manager for Destiny 2. And that mostly means that I get to support all the amazing talent that makes this game. So thanks for sitting down with us today.
Absolutely.
Looking forward to it.
I'm Joe. I'm the game director on Destiny 2, and actually, while Taylor and Liz were doing the intro, I was hiding behind a pillar for the last 10 seconds, so y'all can like roll back the VOD and see if I did a good job or not.
Awesome, so let's get into some questions. As a player, what are you guys most hyped about regarding the final shape and beyond? Anything specific you can call out?
For me, I'm
really excited about the story. This is going to be like the epic conclusion to the Light and Darkness saga. Like, players are finally going to get to go into the Traveler, confront the Witness. Like, the stakes have never been higher. I'm just really excited to get to watch everybody play it out as soon as they can. Can we make it live right now? I don't know. I tried. Anyway, what about you, Dan? For me, I mean, it's a lot about the supers, right? Like, I just think we have this ability with these supers coming out to shift the meta in a really exciting way, and like, I just haven't played through them.
Oh, come on.
You've been working just fine this whole time.
That was going well, but now it starts.
It's not our internet.
No, I don't.
Yeah, plug my phone in though, 'cause my phone is.
Come on.
Oh,
See if I can get that.
Anyway, what about you, Dan? Oh, for me, I mean, it's a lot about the supers, right? Like, I just think we have this ability with these supers coming out to shift the meta in a really exciting way, and like, I just haven't played through them.
Come on. This is funny. Let me see. See if I drop it. See if it plays better.
To shift the meta in a really exciting way, and like, I just haven't played through them.
No. Drop it one more.
I had to exit and reload.
And like, I just haven't played through them.
Well, dang.
I'm not sure. How about now?
With these supers coming out to shift the meta in a really exciting way, and like, I just haven't played through them.
Not sure if I'm gonna be able to watch the end of this. See if we can just reload it entirely.
With these supers coming out to shift the meta in a really exciting way, and like, I just haven't played through them.
No, that's such a pain. You gotta be kidding me. But yeah, thanks Last Boomer for raiding with 5 people earlier. Yeah, greatly appreciate the support, everyone. What is going on? Can we get this to load?
These supers coming out to shift the meta in a really exciting way, and like, I just haven't played through them.
I just, like, he'd get to that point and
yeah,
then it would get stuck.
it's just frozen. Final bit of money in our. Oh, that's funny. Can we get? Let's try. See if Destiny 2 is running better.
On one end, we've got the portal.
Right.
And on the other end, we've got the Witness that's built this giant monolith. And so
What are you on
every
right
single area that we've built.
This is the Destiny 2 YouTube. See if this runs any better than Bungie's YouTube. Well, PlayStation's YouTube, and yeah.
What's for. And if you need to go to the next part, you're not going into these offshoots, the dead end. You are going to where you need to be going. It's really focused on, hey, you've got a job to do here. So it's like tracking your journey. Yeah, it definitely is.
Okay, cool. Well, that sounds insane. So, super different.
That's what we go for.
During the showcase, it was also mentioned that completing the campaign would unlock the full destination, and then it almost like reacts as we progress. Is that kind of what you're hinting at, or can you explain that a little bit more?
Yeah, so I think 2 things we want people really to come away with thinking when they think about. One, this is a bit different in the way that you experience the Pale Heart right away. So normally, you might land on the throne world and you do a mission, and then you're out with your Sparrow exploring the throne world, doing the missions if you want to. Day 1 of the final shape, you got a job to do, right? And so it is mission, right? And you just go through and you say, hey, we've got to stay focused on this thing. When you get to the end of that day 1 experience, everyone can sort of like collectively take a breath, collect themselves, and then you just have this realization,
oh, we're like inside the Traveler, right? Like we should probably go see what that's about.
Right.
And so the whole
So that one
destination
gets a
unlocks
chance
for you.
to,
And there's a lot of things that are
Yeah.
different
update if it
about
needs
the
to.
Pale Heart than our other
Mhm.
destinations. I think we're gonna save some of those juicy tidbits for
Yeah.
what's different about this destination and how it sort of compares to what we've been in the past. But yeah, it's a pretty different experience than even what you might expect in somewhere like the Dream City.
And for real, like we do want to save some of these juicy tidbits, not just because it's fun.
I'm still
but because,
curious
like,
if that's procedurally generated or random, or if it's a
godlike
scripted
sphere
experience.
that people have wanted to know more about for so long. And like, this is their opportunity to experience some of that mystery, and I'm excited to see how that plays out.
Well, it's alive, right? So what can we really expect?
Yeah, I think we talked about this. We showed a little bit. The section that you're in, it's shaped off of who's there, right? And so who's been there?
So cool.
The witness, right? The witness messing stuff up. Yeah, chilling right there. We're trying to knock on the door. We don't know how to get inside. And we're gonna make it eventually. And so it's got this both really unique aspect to it, and a bunch of the geo looks like stuff that you've never seen before. A bunch of these places feel like, this heaven on one side, hell maybe in the middle, crazy Destiny surrealness at the end. And then there are these accents of like, God, I'm at like a crazy heavenly beach. You see this giant ghost carved into a mountain, or you see the D1 tower erecting out of this. And so, we're really excited to sort of give people this like distilled Destiny experience that still feels really new right there.
Wow. Amazing.
So Dan, we've got feedback from players who wanted to learn more about the origins of the Witness and the Veil during the Lifelall campaign, rather than wait until like later on in the seasons. So players have big narrative expectations for the final shape. How are we taking this feedback and making this the epic conclusion that this first saga deserves?
Oh yeah, no, I mean this is the sort of fun of the challenge for this, right? Because the Light and Darkness saga has been such a focal through line for really most of Destiny's existence, right? Like it is this epic story. Joe was just talking about, some of that sort of culmination of experience inside the Pale Heart. And so this is a spot where we have to really land that culmination in a satisfying way, right? Like there is a confrontation that's been happening. There's a story that's been being told. This part of the Destiny world, we have to end really well, and the players deserve that, and the story deserves that. And so there's some things we're doing to account for that. But in addition, we have to set up the next set of stories. We're going to talk probably more about episodes in a bit, but like starting after the final shape with the new episodes framework that we're rolling out, we're going to tell all different stories, and we'll learn more about the world of Destiny moving forward. So that's the unique challenge that we are taking very seriously. And to accommodate that, we've done more, I think, on the narrative side of the fence than we've even done in the past. More significant writers' rooms. We brought in more folks from even other parts of the studio to really kind of consult on this and make sure that all of our fans who probably know the Destiny lore better than I do are getting the pieces and answers to the questions that they want answered, unless we want to save some of those questions for the future stories that we're going to tell. Right. There's more to it that you and the team have been doing as well, if you want to talk to that.
Yeah, probably to steal a little bit from Cosmos and Pika's questions and give them the note card shuffle here in a minute. I think one of the things that we knew that was going to be challenging about this is, hey, we're telling the climax of the story. We know that, hey, when you get in the final shape, in those first moments, we want you to feel like, okay, Bungie delivered on this promise, of becoming legend, delivered on really putting a bow on the Traveler and Pyramid story. The thing that was also important for us is like, okay, well, you're gonna like confront the Witness, like the biggest bad in Destiny. Okay, we think you have to confront the Witness in the raid, right? Like a version of Destiny's chronological history where it's like the Witness was tough. Not quite as tough as Valka-Or, right? Like it's probably not a thing that our players are gonna be super happy about, not a thing I'm gonna be happy about. And so what we really think is this day one experience is sort of like the penultimate episode, or right before the season finale of your favorite TV show. And it really sets the stage for, hey, this is exactly what's going on in the world of Destiny. The stakes have never been higher. You go through a pretty epic journey. And then we say, okay, now we have to have this raid beat. And so it's sort of a reverse Taken King. If some of our people remember that moment in the Taken King, we delivered a thing where, hey, day one, for 80% of our players, they're like, I dealt with Oryx. And then for like 20%, there was this other thing that they could go do, have another experience with Oryx.
Right.
And so for this one, we say, hey, want everyone to go really set up what's happening in the final shape. And then for everyone, right, and we're not going to get into that, right, you should all wait for the raid, right? Like, and we're going to like help make sure everyone is brought along for the end of this journey. I think it takes a lot of our learnings from both really classic experiences like Crota and Oryx and sort of infuses them with what we've been doing with things like Savathun and Callus and like taking all that lessons and saying, okay, we think we can do this the right way.
Yeah, and also just for something like this, when you complete the circle of this story that we've been telling, we want to make sure that we're paying homage to the things of the past, and we're talking through just so many of the things that have made this story what it is, but also telling it in a way where if you're coming into the final shape as your first experience, you can enjoy the mission, you can enjoy the campaign, you can understand what is happening.
Right.
But there's just a lot more if you have almost a decade's worth of Destiny play knowledge that you can look at.
So it kind of sounds like that means I have to play the raid to get the full story?
No. Now, while we're really excited about something like Fireteam Finder coming in and making it easier for anyone to get into the raid and experience those beats, yeah, I think the different part from our strategy sort of as in the past was we said, hey, there's something more for those who raid. There is a piece of the story, right, that is told in the raid. There's a piece that's essential. But it is definitely not going to be a moment where only raiders get to see the end of the Light and Darkness saga.
Right.
Okay. Well, that's good.
As we carefully skirt around 1,000 plot points here.
So we showed a glimpse of the new enemy, the Subjugators. Are they going to be as terrifying as the Tormentors? Like, what sets them apart from previous enemies?
Yeah, we were running through some questions yesterday, just like this. Spoiler alert: we do practice a little bit. Like we do think about this. And I got in trouble because I said several obscenities last time I did this. So I'm not going to do that today on stream.
Who scolded you?
It could have been anyone. Cosmo, it could have been anyone that scolded me.
Okay.
And so I've been playing a lot of the Final Shape recently, probably surprising to no one. Subjugators are very different than Tormentors. Tormentors are sort of like this Kool-Aid man that busts through the wall and is like saying, hey, all right, look at me, right? Oh, okay. And Subjugators for us, they come out in these moments where you feel like you have a battlefield full of enemies, and then you hear the pyramid screech sound.
There's a sound.
And a Subjugator beams in, and it's like they're the ultimate sort of backfield tactician, right? And they're doing things like giving everyone around it little pyramid buddies. Like you've been shot in PvP with an Arc Soul. Like imagine 10 taken Scions, and suddenly a Subjugator says, like, what if you all had little pyramid buddies? And you're like, oh, thanks, Subjugator, right? And so there's still these moments where you're like, you might want to just hold on to your super. You might want to hold on to some heavy ammo when you're playing through the campaign, just in case this busts through. I think one other thing that we've really learned from both Tormentors and Light Hive is we started building these sort of like captain-y units, right? These things that feel scary. And we were very careful in both Witch Queen and in Lightfall to make sure, hey, we don't want to overuse these. We don't want this to become a thing where you get a bounty and it's like, kill 20 Light Hive. Oh, wow, they're just everywhere. And I think we're striking an even better balance now that we have a palette of these captains where it feels like, hey, I'm getting these like really meaty sandbox experiences. And we know how to sort of engage them in both the destination and the strike and the mission. So I'm really happy with a bunch of the learning the team has been taking as we continue to make these things.
Oh, totally. Yeah, my super basic take from having played it is that like, and I didn't know how this was going to play out until I experienced it. Joe described it really well, but it's, what I want from these units as a player is I want that moment of and insert obscenity here so Cosmo doesn't yell at me. But like And the Subjugator absolutely delivers that in the same way that I felt from the Tormentor, and the same way I definitely felt the first time I saw the Light Hive. But it's just, to Joe's point, it's a very different way, right? Like it is, when it comes out, like I'm just as terrified and worried for myself and my fire team, but for different reasons,
right?
And with different tactics, and you have to approach them a very different way. So I think it feels very good to me, at least as a player.
Why am I already nervous?
Because whatever he just described, what you were picturing, is probably lighter than what's actually going to happen.
Oh,
like
great.
Pyramid Buddies are Arc Souls, and
Yeah.
I had to say.
I'm picturing some, okay.
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous. Okay, so Dan, this is for you. Your favorite, or everyone's, not yours, everyone's favorite hunter, Cade 6, is seemingly back from the dead. Can we get a little bit of the story on that?
I mean, I'll happily take this one because I love talking about Cade 6. I mean, here's the reality. We've been talking about this all coming full circle, and Joe was talking about the campaign as mission. You have a mission. There's a thing that has to happen. And like both as players and developers, it was just hard to picture finishing this fight without Cade 6, right? And so we brought Cade 6 back, and you're gonna get less details than you want, but Cade 6 is back for this fight, and it was super important to us as you go through to have Cade 6, Zavala, Ikora on comms talking through, and I think the most critical part of that is it's Cade 6 with Nathan Fillion, and I don't know about everybody else, but like Joe and I were talking about this yesterday, and I think Joe said it really well, which is like when you're playing through the builds as you're going through, and the moment Nathan's line started actually coming through recorded, man, it just hits different, right? Like it just changes the dynamic for me as far as like what I feel about what's going through, the sort of complexities of the story.
Right.
But the part that's important, I think, to know is that like this is Cade. Like Cade is back. Cade is with you on this journey. He is your guide through the Pale Heart.
Yeah.
And there's other stuff that we're not going to talk about just yet because I want players to experience it. But yeah, anything more you want to add there? It's exciting.
No, we'll probably say this a few times. We were like, what's the final shape? How are we going to do this? What's really important? We really wanted to make sure that this experience felt like the most distilled version of Destiny.
Yeah.
Like it's Destiny dialed up to 11. It is the like Destiny extract that if you were baking with, you only need a few drops. Like this is very potent. And for us, we knew, hey, we've been planning this narrative roadmap out for a long time. We were like, okay, we know we need to make the best of this moment that we have with Cade here. But I think it was really, again, as the VO starts to come in and you're in these missions, you're like, that's like Cade 6 talking to me.
gosh.
And even, I wouldn't say everyone's favorite hunter. I mean, Eris Morn might have something to say about that. But yeah, it really starts to be like, okay, yeah, this is that distilled Destiny experience.
Yeah. I'm now picturing Destiny extract on the Bungie store. I don't know what it's for,
I think
but
you got something here, actually. You could bottle this.
Yeah. Not sure what it smells like.
Good point.
I don't even want to speculate.
Yeah, just stop.
So we've been talking about Final Shape. Let's talk about episodes. We've seen some feedback from the players that the seasonal model has gotten a bit predictable at times, and we just saw in the showcase our content cadence is getting refreshed with this episode model. Can you talk us through what episodes are and how they're going to be different than seasons?
Sure, yeah. So, I mean, let's start with sort of what episodes are at their core, right? I think the easiest way to think about episodes is the natural evolution of the seasonal model. Because the seasonal model's done a lot of great things for Destiny. I think we've run seasons for the better part of 3 years at this point, and it has allowed us to deliver, really quality experiences at a 3-month, very fast cadence, really move the story forward. I think we've told some great stories, introduced some new activities, new mechanics, really moved everything forward. The problem is, and if we're being honest with ourselves, and I'm going to be honest with ourselves, we really bias towards consistency to do that, right? Like we wanted to deliver it quality. We wanted to deliver it on time, all the time to the player. But that made the experience somewhat repetitive.
Okay. Yeah, I had to go to the bathroom really bad,
which is now, I think, stretched out to the end of its, utility. So episodes change up the framework and change up the delivery cadence. So there are 3 episodes a year. The first one will start alongside the final shape, and parts of it will start a little bit after. We can touch on that in a sec. But these 3 episodes are split into 3 acts each. And this means 2 things, really. One, that now what you're really looking at is 9 beats a year that are 6 weeks apart. And each of these beats gives us an opportunity to materially change the state of the game, materially move the meta forward, introduce new story, introduce new weapons, new perks, new activities, and it doesn't have to be so formulaic. So it allows us to do what I think Destiny does really well, which is get a little weird at times. It allows us to, like, you know, throw. I have some really bad baseball metaphors I'm not going to use, but like throw some curveballs into.
You just said you weren't going to use the baseball
metaphors.
metaphors.
The bad one.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
I can get really deep in this metaphor, and it's going to be interesting to about 4 people, so we're not going to do that. But like, it allows us to react more to, you know, what else is going on in the game. It allows us to change up the way we look at content delivery in a way that I think is just strictly better for all of us who are players, right? Like, these 6 weeks, the 6 weeks in between major beats, I think is a really good way for players to, you know, play Destiny in where, you know, within their own lifestyle, how it fits into the white space in their life. I think it allows us to introduce different things, to try some different things, like I said, make it weird, and really start to experiment in a couple of places, because of it, not everything has to be there all at once, right at the top. So I think what episodes allows us to do is to not only continue telling stories in a new and pretty interesting way, but it also allows us to just really amp up the variety of the types of things that we can bring and when we can bring them into the game, which I think is just going to be a great experience.
Absolutely. What does that mean for the reward track?
Yeah, so one of the most interesting things that we're doing with episodes is probably how they start.
Okay.
So for us, again, we've talked a lot. It's like pretty important that when the final shape is happening, everyone in the universe is saying, you know what's important? This whole thing that's going on in the Traveler right now. We've got to stay really focused. So we wanted the episodes to be a reaction to what happens when the final shape resolves, right? And so this means both. We don't want to tell a competing story at the same time, and we want, hey, once the first episode kicks off, for it to be in the context of what happens in the final shape. So the majority of the narrative content, the activity content, really when the episode begins, happens that reset after the raid. However, right away, we know there are some systems that just need to be online. So the reward track, you're going to be able to get Red Death, log into the game, claim it from the past. I've been using it a lot in playtests. It's a solar weapon. Can I say that? So like a little bit of like, yeah. And someone from the weapons team is like, oh, I'm going to set it was a solar weapon. Yeah, I think we're excited for that. And there's even a few stuff that you're going to be able to get weapon-wise from the episodes themselves. They have another sub-archetype that's going to be out there. We haven't talked about what sub-archetype that is, but we might see it in
try resetting the Xbox.
Be like, oh, I might bring this to the Raids World First race. And so we're excited for both having some of this content available right away, but keeping that meat of that narrative, keeping what's important for the story and the world of Destiny, to say, no. We're going to say everyone's on the same page when this kicks off. If you are in episode 1, you're hearing those lines of dialogue, you're getting those story beats, everyone is saying, okay, we all just saw what happened, right? Like we were all there for that, and like, yeah, we were.
And nuts and bolts wise, so episodes, we're still going to run season passes alongside episodes. And so before, where it was a season pass specific to a season, now it's actually going to reset at every act. So you'll have 100 ranks for the first act of each episode, and then 50 additional will be added for each subsequent act. So 200 ranks throughout the course of an entire episode. And that length actually allows us to add some more stuff to it, right?
Yeah, I think we want to make sure that those additional ranks in Act 2 and Act 3 are really rewarding, and so we've both learned from our players, like, hey, we really value this. Can we get more of this?
See if I can raise this back up.
But also just going back to some old experiments. One of the things I'm really excited about is in the 30th anniversary, we tried this experiment where, like, we're going to give everybody a tiger helmet, right? And it's like silver and it glows, and I'm like, yeah, and Hunters, Titans, Warlocks, they can all wear it. I'm like, maybe we should do that again. Maybe that should be what's on the very end of the pass, where not only is there, unique armor set, but at the end you can be like, hey, I was there, I did the whole thing, right? And I got this awesome helmet, and everyone wears the same thing.
Oh, thank you.
We're excited to be taking a lot of learnings and pushing this and saying, okay, I think We've
So
made a thing
how
that
much?
players are gonna be able to sink their teeth into and feel rewarded from and be excited about.
Yeah.
I like the idea of having like a unique reward to an episode.
Oh, that's actually less than I thought it'd be.
Well, you answered the question about 2 separate narratives, so we don't need that card. Good. What about the artifacts, like the perks, like
$275 for the collector's edition.
Or are they gonna have, like, are they gonna get the same kind of like day one, or?
Yeah, so day one, you're gonna see something that looks.
Okay, so I'm guessing the final shape year is gonna be $100, because the collector's edition without the game code is $175.
What's gonna happen though is when Act 2 rolls around.
Those game costs $200. We're supposed to play together next year.
A whole nother row appears. And so this is not meaning you're going to get less in Act 1. You're going to get the same amount you're used to. But Act 2 brings another row. Whole new ways to modify the game. In Act 3, another row on top of that. So we really want these acts to feel like, hey, it's not just that we're bringing new activity content in. It's not just that we're bringing new narrative content in.
Click on this.
Only click on that one.
There's new rewards. There's new ways to play. There's new nightfalls in the rotation. All of this is sort of what we're.
Hit B.
We love this idea
go to
of
the queue.
Players finishing the final shape, an episode kicking off, and then just being a few weeks away from like, wait, Act 2 is like weeks away. You're like, yeah, it's right around the corner, and then they're in Act 2. And like, oh, Act 3 is weeks away. Yeah. Like, how can we make sure that Destiny always feels like it's changing and evolving?
Yep.
Yeah, it sounds like it'll be like really refreshing more often. But can you tell us what happens after the first 3 episodes? What's next with Destiny 2?
17 minutes.
So the episodes are
it's not too bad.
Our new storytelling framework. You got to get less information than you want. They allow us to really move the story forward in different ways. And so one of the things that we want to experiment with is, can we make some of these episodes more standalone stories? Do they have to all interconnect? Can you play them in specific orders, things like that? And so after the episode 3, the intention is to continue rolling episodes forward and keep telling different stories and take whatever learnings that we get from the first 3 episodes and start to evolve the framework.
Yeah, and I don't think Dan's gonna kill me here, but we'll see. So maybe keep the coffee cup out of his hand.
I'm waiting for a spit take.
Yeah.
We got a lot of people. Most of them are at home. I was going to point to the other side of the office. Most of us work from home now. That are working on Destiny 2 and are going to still be working on Destiny 2 after the final shape. And so,
I'm not going to kill you for that.
It is not just episodes. Like, we know there's a bunch of content and there's different ways that we can get that in the players' hands. And those folks still want to make that content, like the awesome stuff that we're sort of known for. And so, again, we'll be a little coy here today. But yeah, just to go back to what Robbie was saying, like, hey, we got some more tread on the tires here, and we're excited to show you where we're driving.
Yeah, and again, to what we were saying before, we think the episode model with the 3-act structure allows more flexibility for us to make some of that cool content and make some different content. And I think the team is pretty excited about that too.
So episode 4. Maybe, who knows?
You gotta find out what happens in the first 3 episodes.
All right, so
here's the entire story. No.
all right, well, I cracked the code. What are some
That's
changes
funny. They came out with the Callus Cup.
There's a ton.
I'm almost banking Cox gonna buy that one.
We'll go through some specifics, but finding ways to make it easier for people to group up and play together and improve that experience was a pretty big focus for the last year and a half and moving forward. I'm talking with Joe on time because time's hard, especially in quarantine. But
so we got Fireteam Finder coming in season 20.
Absolutely, yeah. But even before we get into the specifics, Destiny's just better when you're playing with friends. It's better in groups. It's better with a fire team. And so being able to build that fire team and being able to play the best content is the sort of overarching goal for what we're trying to do. And yeah, so we got Fireteam Finder, we got Fireteam Power, we've got Timeline, Reflections. That's
we've probably got another scoop or two. I'm making sure that Kelly isn't opening that door to run over and tackle me before I give another thing here. Season 22. Oh, we can say Season of the Witch now. Season of the Witch.
That's right.
Today is coming out with a thing that we sort of call the main quest update. This is an update to your quest page, where we're taking over that front page and saying, hey, this is the big quest, and here's another quest that's important. And so we think super important for our new players that get inundated with a ton of content to go see. Wow. What are my friends focused on? Can I make sure that's out? This is great for them. It's also great for people that are already playing Destiny and like, okay, I finished day one of the final shape, and you're like, I got a lot of, which ones are the important ones, right? Which ones are first? And so there's a group of, a big group of developers here who are always looking and saying, okay, what's the next pain point for Destiny players?
Sure.
So we're really excited about Fireteam Power. I think it's going to both be a way for engaged Destiny players to still really care about getting their power up and their light up, but also allow, I've got friends that haven't played Destiny in a while, and I would love to just say to them, hey, just get in the game. Whatever guns you have, you're gonna group up with me, we're gonna do the dungeon.
Yep.
We're gonna go play PvP, we're gonna go do this thing, and you're gonna be able to enjoy yourself. And there's still this incentive for them, like, okay, well, I'd rather be not 5 under Joe's power and seeing him beat me on the damage tables, right? Like, let's clear that gap. But for a bunch of people that want to come back and play with their friends, I think we're doing a lot here. We're excited about Fireteam Finder as well. Like, I think there's going to be this whole new influx of Guardians in season 23.
Yeah, I've definitely got plenty of friends that are like, I don't want to come back just to grind the game for 50 hours to get to where you're at. So, yeah.
I think it's a big precursor to what we want Destiny to be. We want to stop hiding our best content by a bunch of walls behind people and say, no, come in here, experience this. There's a lot to chase, even after you access the content. So let's make it easier to access the content.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing for me. It's just that, like, I want an experience for Guardians between Fireteam Finder and Fireteam Power, and where you can come into the game and be like, I heard that's the best content in the game. I want to be able to go play it, and be able to go play it. Right?
Are you this tall? Sorry.
Yeah, you can't run right. Exactly. Like, I feel called out. But in all seriousness, like, that's the goal behind all these systems, and I think Joe painted a really good picture of why it's still important for the really, top end players to really want to go and keep themselves as high end and have all the weapons and all that stuff, even for that content. But give those other players the ability to try it, because I think that's where Destiny's at its best, is in some of those.
And we didn't talk a bunch about this, but we know that Guardian Ranks has done a bunch for our new players this year in helping them get through and onboard the systems. But Guardian Ranks wasn't able to solve, like, okay, I understand what a mod is, but who are these people? Who are the Hive? Who is Cade 6? Everyone keeps talking about Cade 6. And so, time on reflections, we're not going to put Vife out of business anytime soon, but getting that experience in-game to be able to go, look, hey, I want to go to the timeline. I want to read a thing. I can watch a thing. Oh, and then I can play a thing, right? Like, it's one thing to hear about Cade. It's another thing to play with Cade.
Right.
And I think that for, a bunch of our new players, it's going to be an exciting way to experience some content. And I think even some of our older players are just going to be like, you know what I want to go do today?
A little nostalgia.
I want to go hang out with Cade 6 in a prison.
That's right.
I like it. So can you kind of explain how Fireteam Power works for us?
Yeah, so there's 2 ways that we're really thinking about power in Final Shape and beyond. One is what we're calling power fixed activities. So this is stuff like free roam destination, the regular strikes queue, the base power of an exotic mission, right? It's really exciting. Like, we want to build more Seraph Shields. We want to build more Presages. And so for a bunch of this, we're going to say, even if you don't have a friend, right, go into this, bring whatever you want. We've adjusted the difficulty for it to just feel good to play, right? So we know you want to go around the destination and be able to one-shot dregs with a hand cannon. Yeah. We also want the destination to put up a little bit of resistance and to feel like maybe I can't be shot by 15 dregs. And so
could be for you.
We're dialing in that power, but it's like, okay, this is a great basic.
No, I don't think they got large enough. See, this is the stuff they're trying to get rid of.
So you're going to get
so they don't have certain sizes.
To equip them, right? Right. Then post that, we're saying, hey, we've got a bunch of power-enabled activities too. There's the aspirational stuff, raid, the dungeon, trials, right? For this, say, okay, I care about power, and so we've got a an employee that we like to pick on here, a guy by the name of Matt Noguchi, who is a very hardcore Destiny player. I think that I'm a hardcore Destiny player, and then I look at my friends list, like, how is his pass level this high, right? Like, and so we still want to say, hey, you know, you feel like you're rewarded and engaged, but you can go into Nightfall and let's say, hey, you've been out across the world doing good deeds. You weren't able to play Destiny for the last 3 months. Come back and say, you know, I like Destiny, but what I really like are dungeons, really like are raids. Okay, get in Matt Noguchi's fire team. Anyone that's in, you know, a pre-made fire team, whether you made this fire team in Fire Team Finder or whether you made it from your friends list, it's gonna look at say, who's the highest fire team, like who's the highest power level, and then it's gonna take that and say, you know, we're dialing the numbers. I think right now it's 5. It might be 3. I'm gonna say, okay, everyone in here, 5 below, no matter what. Now, if you're close on that, great. We're gonna respect your power. But no matter what guns you have, no matter what armor you have, we're gonna say, hey, we're gonna take this all up. And so you don't have to worry about, hey, I don't have the new stuff that I need. Instead, we're like, hey, go play the raid and then go get the new really good raid weapons, right? Like that's the thing we want you to be caring about. Not that you can't step in the content at all, right? Focus on the optimization, not on the requirement.
So I can load in with the green loadout?
You want to. I mean,
I wouldn't do that.
Armor that can't take resistance mods, and that's a bold choice.
But doable.
But doable, yeah. We will not. So I'm sure we'll see some wacky raid clears that are like, oh, I did it all in the Broken Parade set. And like, you certainly did.
That sucks for you.
Yeah. What about with trials? It's like the one kind of like PvP thing that
yeah. So we know there are some important reasons to keep power on in trials and really to try to keep that a fair playing field. And so right now it's power enabled, and we're going to have a switch where we're going to say, hey, we're going to test out fire team power in this. Because one, we want to make sure that we keep that experience in a good spot.
Really?
Two, like it is an experience where I've got this friend Shane, and he is a master with Golden Run. But he plays Destiny off and on. I would love to be able to say, Shane, we're playing trials this weekend, and I know you haven't played in a while. Please just put the client back on, get inside, and him just be able to go. And I'll have better weapons, I'll have better armor, but he's still gonna pop Golden Gun and get us 2 kills every time. And so I think we do want to still have that, you know, experience for even at the high end of PvP. We just want to make sure we do it right. And so it is something that we are walking in carefully and saying, okay, we're gonna try this, we're gonna test it. If it doesn't work, we're gonna find a different solution.
Yeah, and specifically, we're gonna we want us to have room to experiment. And so I think Joe's right, where we'll start off with it power enabled. Sometime during the episode, we'll flip that switch, and we'll communicate that out. We'll make sure everyone's aware that it's coming, and we'll see how it goes. And if it goes really well, you know, we'll figure out what to do with that next. And if it doesn't, we'll figure out if there's something else we need to try differently.
Yeah, you definitely need anti-cheat on point if you're gonna flip the power off.
Players into trials, and more people who didn't feel like they could do it before give it a go, which would be interesting.
That sounds great. So kind of on that note, the in-game LFG has been an ask for a long time. Can we talk about the Fire Team Finder experience a little bit more?
Yeah. So this is probably, I'm a big LFG user. Like when someone's like, Joe, we want to raid this time, this day. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing that time. My desired raid experience is that I log in and I say, I have, you know, an hour, I have 2 hours, and I'm like, I want to raid right now. So I'll go to my friends list, and if I don't have friends on to play with, I will go to one of the community-run LFGs. And there are so many great services out there that do this.
Right.
But for a bunch of players, they don't understand that exists. They don't have access to this. It can be a pretty big hurdle to just be like, hey, I'm just...
Yeah, I actually didn't know LFG existed until Destiny 2.
...of this activity. I could just go in game and say, I'm not quite comfortable with match-made people, but if I can get you in a group with me and we can talk about it, you know, can we make that fast? Can we make that so I just like, hey, what do I want to do? Okay, I want to do the new seasonal activity. I want to do it Legend. And you can pick, even at this stage, you can say, just give me people and we'll go right away. Right? I'll take the random draw. You can also say, no. Give me people, and I want to be able to approve or deny them when they come in. They say, hey, is someone you want? Okay, yeah. We talked in chat. I don't think you're the right person. We're going to wait until we get the people that we want. And so it's really about striking this balance of both being customizable for folks that are like, I'd like to do a teaching run. I'm a guide player. I want to teach people how to do Switch. And also sometimes there are players that like, I've got 45 minutes to do Ghost of the Deep. I do not want to teach right now, right? And so I can go in there and I can say, hey, I'm looking for people at this Guardian rank. I'm looking for people that are experienced and want to go fast. And we know that we need to build a looking for group tool that can do both of those things. And so it's a big step. These systems are very challenging, and I think we're going to learn a lot about when it's coming out. That's why we're like, this is coming out in season 23, and we are going to get people looking at this, playing this, and we're going to figure out, what happens when the community gets it in their hands, and really make sure that we're in a good shape for when people are using this tool to do Final Shape content.
Yeah, and I think to Joe's point from the beginning, it really democratizes some of that like pinnacle experience, right? Like new players don't know to go out of the game and look for these really legitimately good community services, but like. I think a lot of players stay contained to what's inside of the client, and we want to make sure that those players can have the same grouping experience as the core fans who've learned how to do it in those community activities. So,
just to nerd out about this a little bit more, so there's like 2 ways to enter into the Fire Team Finder flow. There might actually be a few more. Like one, there's like I'm gonna go select Fire Team Finder from my roster, and you're gonna go into there and you're gonna see okay, do I want to do raids? You're going to pick through this whole flow. There's another way. If you like go click on a raid or a thing which you could have with other people, in the roster where you see where all the emblems go, it'll have your emblem, right? Oh, I'm in my Fire Team. And then the next one will just be like, hey, do you want to use Fire Team Finder for this? And you just click on that button and it'll be like, here you go, right? Like, and so we think this is just going to expose a bunch of people to content and get them in. Like, I'm excited to get more Guardian rank 7s into Guardian rank 8s and expose some of our great content to more people.
And making friends.
Yeah.
Along the way, maybe, if you want.
Yeah, and it only has 45 minutes.
Listen, give that time to chat here.
Yeah, it's great that we're like setting this up as additive too. So like you said, we're not gonna like go out and take down any of these LFG sites that exist. Like you're welcome to still do it that way if you've built communities that you're comfortable with. This is gonna be another like direction for players.
Absolutely.
So, what does this mean for guided games?
Is it time? I think the guided games beta, might eventually be coming to an end, and so I think we want to make sure we do this in the right way. I know there's some emblems and things that are connected to that, but we really see Fire Team Finder as just the fully fledged version of how to find a group, and so. This is definitely the future for finding groups, and we think it's going to solve a bunch of problems. Like, hey, can I make sure that I'm finding people with the same desires as me, and a bunch of things that really guided games couldn't do. And so, definitely in the future, we don't want people being like, oh, how should I get into a group? Should I go on guided games? Like, no, go to Fire Team Finder.
Go get those rewards while they last.
Yeah, I would hope they're going to shut off guided games when they bring out the Fire Team Finder.
In the reveal, we wouldn't be talking about a Strange Coin and Xur revamp or the rework of the HUD. Here we are in the post-show. Surprise.
Wow.
Can you say anything about those things?
I feel like I have a lot more makeup on than I had in my office last week. Okay. I don't want to spoil too much here. I think, starting with Strange Coins, we want to do 2 things here. One, we want to make Xur really exciting experience, right? And Xur has felt this presence for our most regular players. Like, what Xur got on the weekend? I think we still have that for newer players. They're like, oh, I gotta go to Xur. Like, we've lost it with our people that play Destiny every week. And so I think one, it's putting Xur back into this. Like, you're gonna be
haven't been to Xur in years.
2, it's like going back to Strange Coins, right? Like this feeling.
Xur is where you're going to go to get a lot of your exotics. For me, I haven't touched them in years because it doesn't have anything for me.
And I'm like, we might spend them on. And so this is also about making some of our ritual content rewarding. It's optional. Pick what you want to do. Play Gambit, play Strikes.
But yeah, he shows up between Friday and Reset on Tuesdays. That a lot of your exotics are going to come from him because they don't drop that often. And there's different sources we can get them now, but yeah.
Is that really worth my strange
Be a good way
coins?
for you to get more armor or weapons.
To regret that moment. And so, maybe a little bit of that coming back wouldn't be a bad thing.
That's good.
Oh, HUD? Was that the other one?
Yeah.
I think, to talk, sort of zoom out and talk about HUD, for our players that get really into build crafting and go into some really tricky activities, there's going to be this moment where you look on the left-hand side of your screen, like, there's a lot of text there, and it's important and it's hard to parse. And this is the thing that we're like, hey, we've just got to make this more clear. And so really this update is about moving some of that stuff around the HUD to better locations to make it more clear, hey, what's coming from my Guardian, what's coming from the environment or from enemies, and making sure that the important stuff stays on screen, right? And then,
Like Unstable Life.
like a stable life.
Yes.
I mean, I'm constantly like, how many armor charges do I have, right?
Is it
Like,
because you're
how much time do I have left
It's
before I
probably 'cause I'm
die,
watching
right?
the
And you're
video.
like, let's sort of start getting that information in the right places.
Seems important.
Yeah.
So there's been some fans wondering, like, as we expand out, start working on new projects, become a true multi-IP studio.
And I'll
there's
just
worry
let
that
you
those
play and
teams
kind of
take away
talk about
resources
one
that are
update.
meant for Destiny. Like, what are we doing as a studio?
But yeah, we're gonna shift over.
No,
What in the world?
I appreciate this question. So, like, there's a couple things we need to.
We're gonna shift over to my wife's game is updated.
Now about just how much stuff is coming.
It's gonna turn.
All the work.
So she can jump into.
Potentially more beats later next
not
year.
that one.
And like we still have.
So you can jump into the new season, and I'm gonna see if I can get mine to update if I turn that off. But yeah, shout out to the 17 people on YouTube. Oh, don't do that. Okay. Hopefully again, I don't know why Destiny's updating so slow for me. But yeah. Yeah, thanks for everybody for tuning in. Not sure if I got rated by someone. Look at something, jeez. But yeah, thanks for everyone for tuning in. 17 people on YouTube. I'm back from the dead of one. This is my wife Blondie, and we've been going through. This is her first shooter that she's been playing, and got her up to Guardian rank 6, and
Due to increased traffic, login services in
oh,
Destiny 2 are
great.
currently being throttled. They stay on this
yeah,
page to log
let's
in
hope the
to
servers hold up today. But yeah, we got her up to 1750 power, and oh yeah, I gotta do that on my phone. Picked up all the expansions for her so we can both jump into the new season together.
I'll play your desk a little closer. I don't know if that's gonna mess with the camera.
Oh. Yeah, I'll have to adjust it. Kind of, I don't know. See if I can play around with this. There we go. A little bit better.
What?
Yeah, hope.
What?
I don't know what.
Just jam into the music.
Yeah? But yeah, I've got a lot of different YouTube videos up on my channel that can take you through how to turn a heroic, public friend heroic, to how to clear Legend Lost Sector solo, how to power up your character, menu navigation, Destiny 2, and also different reviews on games I've played, and first impressions on ones I want to play through more. So you don't want to miss any content, subscribe to the channel. Greatly appreciate any support I can get. But yeah, we try to stream on Mondays and Wednesday nights. I'm not so sure about Fridays. I've been trying to do that. Maybe switch into Saturday nights. And then put out regular content throughout the week. You just want to play the game, don't you?
Yes.
This is always an issue. Everybody's trying to log into the game, enjoy the new season. So
Yeah, you would think they would fix that with how high of a demographic they've got. It's like...
That's been a constant discussion over the years. It's like, can we get it to work day one? Don't break. Every time they put out a patch, everybody's trying to get in. Can be frustrating at points. Starting to speed up a little bit. Can I tell anything from there? No, not really. I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
I'm just gonna lay here and take a little nap while we're waiting for this.
Oh, cool. We actually... Let's see.
Hmm?
I wonder what's in this. Show this off while we're waiting for this to come up. Got the... What is this? Yeah. Seasonal Witch Silver Bundle. Can I get that to play?
No.
Maybe. There, you got a new emote there. Really like that armor, the flowers on the shoulders there. It's kind of cool. See, what is that? Yep, 15 bucks. That should most likely give you 1,700 silver. Then you get the Forlorn Photograph legendary emote. So yeah, if you want to pick up some silver, that's a good way to do it if you like the emote there. It also gives you a bit of a couple hundred more than typically it would cost. $15 for 1,500 silver. But yeah, they usually put one of those out every season. What's up? Let's check Bungie help see what's going on. So you can figure out what's up with the servers. Hopefully it's not having issues. Let's Okay, so the app should be back up. Yeah, 26 minutes ago the update was pushed. Do they have anything more on that? Yeah, we're not the only people hitting this. Oops. So some people are actually lucky enough to get in. Yeah, after a pretty good showing, and I do appreciate them limiting the barriers of entry for newer players, and because it's frustrating to me to have to tell my friends, it's like, okay, well, you haven't played enough, so go play a ton, then you can jump in with me. I'm happy about that, especially if they're trying to just jump straight into the new season or we're trying to go do something together. Okay, fantastic. The pizza we ordered is almost here. Hungry? Yeah.
I don't think this is gonna let me in.
No, it's having this issue for a lot of people. We might have to do this later.
I don't mind.
Frustrating.
When I get back home, we can go back to streaming.
Yeah. Yeah, because sometimes it takes 5 minutes for Bungie to fix stuff like this. Sometimes it takes 5 hours. I've been through 24-hour shutdowns of Destiny, and that's never fun.
Just try it later. That way I can go spend some time with my mom on her birthday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. But yeah, I was hoping to be able to jump into new content right away. It doesn't look like that's gonna happen. Again, thanks everyone for showing out. I greatly appreciate the support.
Me too.
So yeah, wherever you're at, follow, like, subscribe. Greatly appreciate everyone for showing up. Thank you so much. You can find me at Back from the Dead 1 on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Rumble. Find me at Back from Dead 1 on Xbox and PSN. So hopefully we'll be able to jump back into this when Bungie's got the server stabilized, and you might see us live later. Ow. Thanks again, everyone. Have a great day, and have fun gaming.